free will, and my chosen parts of dialogue with hidden hand, self-proclaimed Illuminati insider. In 2017, I was guided to a YouTube video on free will, and then I found this article written in 2008. Recently, while looking through my files, I read what I had written and the parts I saved out of this article. Because this is a very long article, I chose to make a video including only what I consider to be most important. If you're interested in the full article, the link is included. Extreme negative forces are necessary to push humanity to choose the complete unknown, because the known will become too painful and too difficult. We are now experiencing massive acceleration of changes all around our world. The transition and the transformation of humanity are widely misunderstood. This is fundamentally a shift of consciousness to higher frequencies and higher ideals with a noticeable quickening of manifestations. Today, there are many individuals noticing this fact. Depending on the level of consciousness you're at, you will be experiencing either increased ease and grace or increased difficulties and challenges. I'm thrilled to be alive on the planet right now, during this transition phase. Without a doubt, a momentous shift in the consciousness of humanity is underway. This period will be insanely intense, but those that are living this experience in awareness and understanding will not suffer much, because awareness and understanding bring peace and allows the dissolution of ego fear. If you felt like 2025 has been off to a rocky start, you're not alone. 2025 is a number 9 universal year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. A number 9 universal year marks the end of an energetic cycle. Everything that we have considered normal is ending this year. The universe orchestrates the shift. The planet is bathing in cosmic energy from the galactic core, and this energy is raising the base frequency of everything on the planet and activating the memory of our true selves, waking us up to our higher selves. The whole process is nudging us out of our very limited and fearful ego mind. A positive, allowing, forgiving, compassionate mind, one that is consciously aligned with soul, leads to a life that flows joyfully and effortlessly. Most people will stubbornly hold on to a negative, judgmental, condemning, fearful, ego-controlled mind. Because of this, they will experience increasingly challenging situations more and more rapidly. The universe, in its perfection, creates for those that insist on holding on to negative thought patterns a stronger and stronger impetus to try something else. We should strive to become master players of the earth game. As I become aware of the wider reality and the rules of reality creation, I become a conscious player in the game of life and can choose to continue to play the game at a much higher level. I begin to create my custom-made personal reality. However, knowing and understanding the rules of the game is extremely challenging. I must have complete trust and faith in myself and my soul, without any specific result expectations. Expectations are always of the ego. I suggest my video, We Are in a Monopoly Type Simulation Game. Let's break through the dome into prime reality. In my booklet series, Evolution of Consciousness, Me and My Many Selves, within mypower.com, I wrote extensively on the ego. This work of ego dissolution, which must be done by each and every human being, requires unwavering optimism and constant positivity. There can be no room for doubt or fear. In this eternal quest to know ourselves, we, the collective higher selves, created this new type of reality, one where we would completely lose our connection to our divine source, completely forget that we are the creators of our reality. In this created illusion, which we call our reality, we think we are separate from the creative source and from each other. This creation should be called the separation game. We have played the separation game many, many times before, and it typically ended in disaster, destruction, meltdown, and apocalypse. From one perspective, none of this matters because everything is illusory, and we can restart the game with another beginning. However, I am personally very excited with this opportunity of moving on to something else, something incredible. In this present game, we are at a level of consciousness that is best described as victim consciousness, the triangle of hell: victim, perpetrator, savior. The dynamic that characterizes this level of consciousness has been the perpetual human drama for millennia. This present state of the human drama, as with all realities, is a reflection of the human state of consciousness. Only the ones that awaken from the game and then work diligently to achieve higher levels of consciousness will graduate to the new transformed earth. The ones that don't make it in time will have to play the same game over and over again on some other planet. Playing the game over and over again is not by any means a punishment, because all souls go where they need to go to experience the appropriate experiences for individual progression. The Earth game is very unique and exciting because we are attempting to jump from the deepest level of duality consciousness directly into unity consciousness. Sri Aurobindo and the Mother have confirmed that Earth has been chosen to do this process within one generation. This has never been done before, and our planet and this space-time nexus is the test case. We all have chosen the opportunity to live this transition. We can awaken and fully live this experience, this experiment, or survive with the unconscious autopilot. It is clearly very challenging to become an observer of the game without emotional attachments to the madness surrounding us. However, like with everything else, it becomes easier with practice and understanding. I must free myself from the illusion, and I know that I will achieve this. Writing and making videos over the last 13 plus years helped me to make very big steps in integrating this information into me. I have to do my individual work, and every human has his own individual work that must be done. As I raise my consciousness level, I contribute to the healing of the collective unconscious mind. We all affect each other because the mind is holographic. The ego mind believes that all the madness we are experiencing is truth. In fact, it is only the duality experiment, and I can stop it and go beyond it. Ego mind is the crazy carousel that I believed in up until the end of 2011. I thought I could control it. manipulate it, and change it. Now I know that a reflection cannot be changed. I can only change myself in order to then reflect something else. I was clinging on to the carousel ride as if my life depended on it up until the time when I flew off of it because it was going way too fast and I could no longer hold on. To my surprise, and certainly to the surprise of everyone who watched me fly off the ride, I did not die. But many of my ego characters did in fact die, one at a time, slowly but surely. Had I not found the courage to let go of the carousel ride, or the ride was not spinning fast enough, my soul would have continued to create larger, more extraordinary stories, so that my suffering would increase to the level where I would finally decide to let go of the insane ride and surrender to my soul. This surrender to my soul can only be done when I am in awareness and understanding of my true identity, the divine, infinite love, me. It is extremely important not to allow myself to be distracted by the everyday loop of the collective ego mind, because it will keep on spinning with its own agenda. Humanity will continue to fight and start wars until individuals find peace within themselves. And this will only happen once they achieve an understanding of the illusion of separation. Once I surrender to my soul, I allow spirit to enter my three bodies: physical, emotional, and mental. And I learn to recognize the truth. As an individual, I can be a symbol for truth, but I should never force it on anyone else. Everyone has his or her individual journey. I visualize myself as a cell inside a body with billions of other cells. My vibration affects every other cell of this body. When I am in harmony, the other cells will eventually listen and slowly, one by one, start vibrating at the same frequency of harmony. The system is designed to keep people in a limited mind state, repeating the same things over and over again. What happens or does not happen doesn't matter. My ego will continue with his expectations of wanting what he does not have or not wanting what he has. Even though I consciously got rid of many of my ego personalities, there are many that are still very much alive. Specifically, the physical ego personalities, the ones concerned with basic physical body survival, have very deeply rooted habits and inertia. They are the ones that will stick around till the very end. Ego hates change, and it will fight like a lion not to experience change. Life is much easier when I embrace and choose change, because with change, I can create something new, such as joy, in each moment of my life. I am gradually dissolving the veil of unconsciousness, but for my ego, the speed at which events are unfolding will never be fast enough. My ego, the mental, emotional, and physical ego personalities, continue to be in control of my body quite often. Most people will not want to follow the path of truth, love, and peace, but we only need a critical mass that do. I know that this is the reason why I am here, right now, to live and be an example in the transformation. I am here to raise my vibration. This is an inner choice and something I intend to focus on in every moment of my life. This is not a part-time thing. To raise my frequency is a very real and physical process. It's not a New Age belief, it's a science in itself. Frequency is what matters. People can and will deny this as long as they want to, but those who know this truth will take charge of their lives, let go of their victimhood, and create amazing lives. Do not let yourself believe that what you see within this world is about saving anyone. There's no one to save. We are here to consciously tune into another higher love frequency, and those who are likened in frequency will follow. It's a natural evolution. The 3D world is falling apart. Most will hold on to the fear, even when change is happening at an exponential level, because of the old program beliefs. It's like a deep trance state. Humanity is going to where no one has gone before. Predictions are useless, absolutely useless. This is an exercise in trust and letting go of everything we have been taught up until now. The ego will call this foolish, and he will most definitely say, "Be careful, this looks very dangerous." However, I choose to listen to my soul. How about you? I'm confirming that all of the chaos and negativity we see around us now is just part of the transition. I have been in my personal transition phase for over 13 years, and I can confidently say there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Revelation of the first law of the universe: free will. Free will was created because a distortion occurred in the One, Source, Infinite Love. The One wanted to experiment through individual experiences. Everything created by the One has consciousness, but this consciousness has billions of different levels. Free will was created for humanity, and because of free will, I have the choice to experiment what I want. I have been given free will choice, but on the other side of this free will coin is causality, the relationship between cause and effect. Whatever energy I sent out, the same energy will always come back to me, sooner or later. With the power of free will, humanity has also accepted limitations, and most importantly, the veil of forgetting who we are. With free will, we also have responsibility, the ability to respond. Humanity is now arriving at the end of a 25,000-year cycle, which is called by many the harvest of souls. The harvest of souls separates humanity into two groups: those who will choose to go into STO, service to others, learn higher spiritual values, and place them at the service of others in practice. 2. Those who will refuse STO, choose to stay in the old world of STS, service to self, and continue their evolution in a new cycle. We all must make a choice at the end of the old cycle. Even not choosing is in fact the choice of staying with number 2, the refusal of STO. This separation is happening, and those who understand the universal laws, and specifically the main law of free will be passing into another phase of search for truth, which is an inner search for truth, and then place it into action in everyday life. By knowing the laws of the game at play, I hold the power of becoming a better player. By observing the other players, I have the power of understanding the role they play in creation. Every single role is a divine role. We need the yin yang, the positive, negative, the polarities in order to arrive at a level of higher understanding. However, the speed of my evolution can be made at the speed of the collective or at my individual super high speed. Everything is always a choice. My free will choice. Did you ever wonder who's on top of the Masonic pyramid? In this article, the hidden hand gives us some clues. He represents the bloodline that is in fact above the pyramid, and therefore above the Rothschilds, who hold the power in the earth hierarchy. The power behind the Masonic pyramid is extraterrestrial in origin. The 13 bloodlines that are typically mentioned in various websites, with the Rothschilds in the top position, together with the Merovingian nobility, are apparently in quite a low rank in the pyramid structure above the American $1 bill Masonic pyramid structure. The Rothschilds and the Merovingian nobility are the ones who are playing the power game here on Earth, and they are only aware of the big game on a need-to-know basis. The bloodline hidden hand is apparently a whole lot more advanced in evolution of consciousness and holds a much higher rank. Here are my selected parts of the dialogue between the above top secret member, ATS, and hidden hand, HH, the self-proclaimed Illuminati insider. HH. I am a generational member of a ruling bloodline family. Every so often, as per the directives of the law of our Creator, a brief window of opportunity opens, whereby a select handful of our family are required to make communication with our subjects and offer you the chance to ask us any questions you would like answered. Our lineage can be traced back beyond antiquity, from the earliest times of your recorded history and beyond. Our family has been directing the play from behind the scenes in one way or another. Before the rise and fall of Atlantis. Yes, that was indeed perfectly real. We are born to lead. It is part of the design for this current paradigm. There are 13 base or core original bloodlines. One is born into the family. The order and its agenda is handed down from generation to generation. If it is not in the mainstream controlled media, it will not be believed by the masses. This is information tailored for those who already know that we are very real and exerting a strong, if mostly subtle, influence over your lives. If you wish to enslave a man, allow him to believe that he is already free. ATS. Are we really considered chattel and traded as such by the government? By the governments, generally, yes. People are seen as collateral, pawns that are maneuvered around the chessboard, according to the game plan. By the family, contrary to popular beliefs, many of us do not mean you any harm directly. There is just a matter of the divine destiny to uphold and unfold. And we must play our parts in the game, as given to us by the Creator. In many ways, it is actually in our own interest that you are prepared for the coming harvest. Just not maybe prepared in quite the way that you would like. Still, even then, you are choosing the negative polarity with your own free will decisions, with a little help and direction from us. ATS. How do we become free men? HH. You will never be free for as long as you are incarnating on this planet. The very nature of your being here is indication of that. There is a reason why you're here. And here is very likely not really where you think here is. How do you become free? By working out where you are and coming to an understanding of why you are here. You are fast running out of time to do so before the coming harvest. Those that don't make it will have to repeat the cycle. ATS. Is the Messiah alive today? HH. There is no Messiah. Stop looking outside of yourself for salvation. Is there what you might call a Christ consciousness alive? Yes, in a matter of speaking, though not in your third density dimensional awareness. ATS. Is it the end times as described in the book of Revelations? HH. Yes, not just described in the book of Revelations, but also in the prophecies of virtually every religion, spirituality, philosophy, and mystery tradition throughout history. This time is now at hand. Surely, if ruling elite families exist, and you're a member of one, then you must be controlling global events through world governments. Tell us one major government action from any country that is going to occur. HH. On September 10, 2008, the stock markets will soon complete their controlled demolition. After an initial appearance that the bailouts and rescue packages have steadied the ship, there will be new record lows by the end of the month. Our financial institution will later call in all loans. There will be many bankruptcies and foreclosures. The only way John McCain will become the next US president will be if something happens to Barack Obama before the election, if there is even an election. If a certain faction gets their way, there will not be. Remember, behind the scenes, there is only one party, our party. Democracy is an illusion, which is created to uphold your slavery. Whichever side wins, the family wins. There are many possibilities and alternative scripts. All of them lead toward the ultimate implementation of the overall blueprint of our Creator. Humanity, though utterly unconscious of the fact, has a significant part to play in this. You, as a collective consciousness of the planet, are choosing the negative polarization by default, by the quality of your thoughts and actions. Thought is creative energy, focused. You get exactly what you put out. Why do you think that media is so important to us? You have, as a society, in your hypnotized, comatose state, given your free will consent to the state your planet is in today. You saturate your minds with the unhealthy dishes served up for you on your televisions that you are addicted to. Violence, pornography, greed, hatred, selfishness, incessant bad news, fear and terror. When was the last time you stopped to think of something beautiful and pure? The planet is the way it is because of your collective thoughts about it. You are complicit in your inaction. Every time you look the other way, when you see injustice, your thought at the subconscious level of creation to the Creator is your allowance of these things to occur. In so doing, you are serving our purpose. It is very important to us that the polarization on this planet is negative at the time of the great harvest. That means service to self-oriented as opposed to positive service to others. We require a negative harvest, and you are doing a fine job of helping us to attain our goal. We are very grateful. There will be dramatic changes to your climate and weather conditions over the next few years as the time of the great harvest approaches. There will be raging tsunamis and widespread devastation. ATS. Who is your creator? And is your creator the same as our creator? HH. This is an excellent question, which I can use to draw our communication closer to the core. Yes and no. You would first need to understand the creation. In the beginning, there is the infinite one. This is the source of all intelligent infinity. It is the undifferentiated absolute. Within it is unlimited potential, waiting to become. Infinite intelligence, becoming aware of itself, seeks to experience itself, and the one infinite creator is born or manifest. This appears to your third density comprehension as space. In effect, the creator is a point of focused infinite consciousness or awareness into infinite intelligent energy. The one infinite creator, also becoming self-aware, seeks also to experience itself as creator, and in so doing begins the next step down in the creational spiral. The one infinite creator, in focusing its infinite intelligence, becomes intelligent energy, which you could call the great central sun, and divides itself into smaller portions of itself that can then in turn experience themselves as creators or central suns. In other words, each central sun or creator is a step down in conscious awareness or distortion from the original thought of creation. So in the beginning was not the Word, but thought. The Word is thought experienced and made manifest as Creator. There is unity. Unity is all there is. Infinite intelligence and infinite energy. The two are one, and within them is the potential for all creation. This state of consciousness could be termed as being. Creation is based upon the three primary distortions of the infinite one. 1. Free will. In the first law of distortion of creation, the creator receives the free will to know and experience itself as an individuated thought, paradoxically, unified aspect of the one. 2. Love. In the second law of creation, the initial distortion of free will becomes a focus point of awareness known as logos, or love, or the word in biblical terms. Love, or logos, using its infinite intelligent energy, then takes on the role of co-creating a vast array of physical illusions, thought forms, or densities, which some call dimensions, in which, according to its intelligent design, will best offer the range of potential experiences in which it can know itself. In effect, the one infinite creator, in dividing itself into logos, could be termed in your third density understanding as a universal creator. In other words, logos creates on a universal level of being. Logos creates physical universes in which it and the creator may experience their selves. Let there be light. 3. Light. To manifest this infinite spiritual or life force, energy into a physical thought form of densities, logos creates the third distortion of light. The goal of the game is to enter into these in further divisions of creation, and then seek to harmonize the polarities in order to once again know oneself as the creator of them. Something that is infinite cannot be other than or many. An infinite creator knows only unity. Thus, drawing upon its infinite intelligence, the infinite creator designed a blueprint based on the finite principles of free will of awareness and sub-level creations, which in turn could become aware of themselves and seek to experience themselves as creators. And so the Russian doll style experiment was stepped down and down and down. Levels of creation within levels of creation. The one infinite creator, or great central sun, steps down its infinite energy to become logos. Using the law of free will, each universal logos, central sun, designs and creates its own version or perspective of physical reality in which to experience itself as creator. The planetary energy begins to become aware of itself. The first density of awareness is consciousness, and the planetary logos begins to create other downward steps within itself, and the internal makeup of the planet begins to form. As the raw elements of air and fire combine to work on the waters and earth, thus arising conscious awareness of their being, and the process of evolution begins, forming the second density. Second density beings begin to become aware of themselves as being separate, and thus begin to evolve toward the third density of self-conscious awareness, the lowest density into which a human soul can incarnate. Humans, in turn, or the souls incarnated within them, seek to return to the light and love from which they came, as they begin the journey of progression from third density up to the eighth density and the return to the infinite oneness. Your Creator, the one you have called Yahweh, is not God, inasmuch as your Bible refers to him as being the one true God. He is a creator, or sub-logos, rather than the one infinite creator. He is not even a galactic level logos, but rather is the planetary logos for this one planet. Our creator is the one you refer to as Lucifer, the light bearer, and bright and morning star. Our creator is not the devil, as has been spuriously portrayed in your Bible. Lucifer is what you would call a group soul, or social memory complex, which has evolved to the level of the sixth density, which in effect means that he, or more accurately, we, has evolved to a level sufficient that we, has attained a status equal or arguably greater than that of Yahweh. We have evolved higher than him. In appearance, were you to gaze upon Lucifer's fullest expression of our being, the appearance would be that of a sun or a bright star. Or when stepping down into a third density vibration, we will appear as what you may term as angel or light being. In the absence of free will upon the planet, there can be no polarity, and therefore nothing to choose between. Just as is portrayed in the book of Genesis, the planet was very Edenic in nature. Sure, it was a lovely paradise, yet the beings incarnating there had no agitator toward evolving beyond the third density, and therefore little hope of ever making the journey home to the One. Yahweh had been happy to keep his own little pet Eden project in effect, but with little chance of the souls here making it home, it had become in effect an albeit very beautiful prison without polarity derived from free will. There is only the unity of love and light, and no choice to experience other than that. So we were to be the catalyst for change in order to provide that choice, thus bringing polarity. Yahweh agreed that we would introduce the concept of free will to Earth's inhabitants by offering them an initial choice as to whether they wanted it or not. Hence, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or more accurately, the knowledge of polarity, of positive or negative. Yahweh takes his inhabitants to a new garden and tells them you can do anything you like except this one thing, thus creating the desire to do the one thing they are told they cannot. Hence, a choice. We provide the catalyst by telling them the benefits of attaining knowledge. They eat from the tree, and the rest is history. We are committed to being here for a predetermined set of cycles, to help provide the catalyst for human evolution, namely by offering you the negative option, or that which you choose to call evil. Now that free will had been granted, Yahweh could not retract it, and we have to stay here as contracted to continue to provide the planet with the polarity choice. Let's be clear about one thing though. All of this physical life incarnation is a very intricate and skillfully designed game whereby the one infinite creator plays the game of forgetting who it is so that it can learn to remember, and in doing so experience and know itself as creator, all the way down to us tiny individuated sparks of the all that is, off stage and between lives, 0 point time antimatter universe. As incarnated human beings, we, all of us, you as souls, are great friends, brothers and sisters in the One. Between lives, we all have a great laugh about the parts we have performed in the play and look forward to and have great fun preparing the next chapters to act out. When you speak of the harvest, it has echoes of chaos, gnotism, in the sense that we are divine souls trapped in the physical world, continuously reincarnated into flesh, until the time that we reach such a level of spiritual gnosis that we are able to avoid being reincarnated in our next cycle. Is this the foundation of your belief? HH. You are indeed what you call divine souls. You are sparks or seeds of the one infinite creator. You are life itself, light. Remembering and learning who you really are, we came here to help you do this. And yes, currently you are trapped, or more accurately, quarantined, within the matter of this planet you call Earth. Collectively, humanity right now is growing and developing into beings you have long been encoded to be. Those of the predominantly positive polarity, love and light, will ascend to a beautiful new fourth density Earth, where you will begin to work upon your learning and demonstrating of love and compassion. It will be a very beautiful and golden age. The fourth density begins to open you up to your true powers as a unique, individualized aspect of the one infinite creator. You will perform works and wonders of the like that the one you call Jesus promised you would do, and even greater things than these. It will be a very magical time for you. For the majority of humans on the earth, who could be considered, shall we say, lukewarm, they will experience a period of what will feel ecstatic 0 point time, where you feel totally at one with the Creator, giving you an encouraging reminder and glimpse of who you really are before the veil of forgetfulness once again descends upon you, and you will be transported to another third density planet, a kind of Earth replica, to continue working upon yourselves and learning that life here is all about making choices. You will remain quarantined, incarnating in third density matter until the time of the next harvest, in which time you will need to have proved yourself that you have learned how to be more positive beings, focus more upon being of service to others, rather than seeking only to serve yourself. You are here to work upon yourself. Remember who you are and why you are here. You're here to remember the infinite Creator, to know your Creator within you, and to offer your service to Him and others of your own free will choice to serve. When you remember who you are and you know it deep within the core of your being, you will know and recognize your invisible connection to all that is. And in so doing, joy and thanksgiving and service will be the natural outpouring result from your grateful heart. Remember that ultimately this is a game that we are all playing here. We are actors playing on the stage of life. This world is all illusion or thought form. No one really dies, and no one is really hurt. In between incarnations, you know this very well. But the rules of the game ensure that you must forget who you really are, so that you believe it is all real, whilst you are playing the game of life. That is essential prerequisite when you're making choices. Otherwise, the game would be too easy. This world is not reality, though we can express reality in it, if we so choose. ATS. So when the harvest comes, my time here is over, and this consciousness shell I live in is no more. What then? What happens to me? What happens to my friends and loved ones? Are we, and by we I mean the vast majority of us who possess this planet, this dimension, This density, by and large, going to be ignorant of the events you foretell? HH. This is a good question. I like questions that come from the heart. It depends upon the circumstances surrounding your final moments of this particular lifetime. For example, let us say that the physical aspect of you was to do the thing called die during the coming earth changes. You will immediately return to that wondrous realm in which we reside in between incarnations, that which we call time space or antimatter. This is the place that humans refer to as heaven. There you shall meet all those you love who have also died during this life experience and enjoy a wonderful and emotional reunion. You will meet up with your soul group and your spiritual teachers. We all store a portion of our soul energy on the other side when we come here. Depending upon the difficulty level of the life experience we've chosen, we take more or less of our energy with us. For an average lifetime, we typically bring between 60 to 80% of our soul energy into incarnation with us. Therefore, even if ones you love who are already back in the world of spirit have incarnated again on another adventure, there will still be a part of their energy there to meet with you and welcome you home. You will then evaluate your life experience with your teachers and learn the lessons of your successes and your mistakes. You will then spend time in learning and resting before beginning to plan your next incarnation. For those who do not physically die before the great harvest arrives, there will be a moment of 0 point time where you will enjoy an ecstatic merging with the infinite creator, giving you a wonderful reminder and reassurance of who and what you really are, before the veil of forgetfulness once again descends upon you, and you will be transported to the place that awaits you, depending upon whether you join us in fourth density negative, unlikely, graduate to fourth density positive, possible, or go to another similar third density planet for the lukewarms. To continue in your learning for however many cycles it takes you to graduate to fourth density positive. Those in this category will not remember anything at the time of your transition. It will be just like nothing has changed, except you will retain the memory of your 0 point experience to encourage you. You will not remember the recent experiences of the harvest in this life here. It will be as though you all had some mystical experience and life will continue as normal for you. ATS. Hidden Hand. My question I pose to you, with the greatest respect and humility, who will you stand before when we are all called home? HH. We shall stand, as all shall, before our one infinite Creator. We already know that which awaits us in our coming fourth density negative polarity world. We shall have to experience the negativity of our own creation and know what it feels like. We shall have to work off the karmic effect of our actions. But at the same time, knowing that this is a beautiful and intricate game that we're all co-creating here together, we also know that we shall be rewarded with a hearty thank you and job well done for the sacrifice we have made in bringing this negative polarity into your game for you, that you may use it wisely to see that which you are not. ATS. Are the bloodlines that have been infused with the ancient wisdoms trying to become gods themselves? HH. There is no need to try. Humanity needs to grow beyond the stagnating concept of gods. The idea of God takes the power out of your own hands and places it upon some shadowy unknown figure somewhere out there. In other words, outside of yourself. Instead of God, see Creator. So there's no need to try. We already are creators, and so are you. The only question is, will you create consciously or subconsciously? ATS. HH. Strangely, my concern is that I will be recycled back into the wheel of life and be reborn with a new brain and lose everything I have so arduously learned in this lifetime. HH. Your soul remembers everything you've ever experienced. The only reason you don't remember it all now is due to what we term the veil of forgetfulness. If you came into each new incarnation with access to your soul memory, there's no point in your coming into space-time. It would be like playing a computer game with all the cheats. You wouldn't learn anything, and it takes the fun out of playing the game. Remember that this current physical body you carry around with you is not who you are. It's just the vessel for your essence. Who you are is real and cannot be destroyed. You will retain all your memories of this life experience once you pass onto the realm of time-space, or that which some call heaven. Space-time is illusion. Time-space is real. That infinite being living within and around your body, namely your soul, is who you really are. The part of you that thinks and feels and loves, it will always be a part of you. ATS. My dream is to be a master such as yourself. HH. I'm not a master. I am a growing and evolving soul, just as you are. We're just at different stages of our development. You will get to where you desire to be. It takes time and patience. Be sure to make time to enjoy the journey. ATS. I'm still not clear on what this harvest is. A harvest means to reap what has been sown. By you? HH. Not by us. We did not sow. Our infinite Creator did. We do not reap. Our infinite Creator does. We help to prepare the harvest by separating the wheat from the chaff, for want of a more eloquent metaphor. ATS. Thank you for answering my previous questions. I have some more if that's okay. 1. How can karma be overcome, if at all? Is there an end to the karmic cycle? 2. Is time really as we perceive it, or is it another 3D illusion? 3. Are your family members born with the knowledge of what they are and where they're from? If not, and it's all taught and passed down, have you ever doubted or questioned any of it? Thanks. HH. You're welcome. 1. No, karma cannot be overcome. It must be worked off. In other words, if you've hurt someone, be it physically, emotionally, or however else, you will have to, at some further point, experience what that felt like for them. The law of karmic effect is not a punishment. It is a tool of learning, which is set in place to promote personal growth and development. If you have to feel the consequences of your actions, there is a higher likelihood of your choosing a different course the next time around. It is also important to hold in mind that it works both ways. Seek, therefore, to ensure that the effect of your presence upon those others whom you encounter upon your journey are positive and beneficial. 1b. A karmic cycle is brought to completion once you have learned the lessons intended for you from it. If you keep repeating the same mistakes, you'll keep cycling until such a time as you get the message and break the cycle. But yes, ultimately, all of us will learn that which we need to learn, and all of us will find our way home. For some, it just takes longer than others. 2. Linear time is more accurately described as an intentional fabrication. The true nature of time is cyclical. Though, remember also that even cyclical time is part of creation, and creation, beautiful as it may be, is also an illusion, or more accurately, a thought form of our infinite Creator. Creation is not real, but the Creator and co-creators of it are. 3. This is an excellent question. I will devote some time to it. Firstly, there's a distinction to be made. When I speak of family in this particular reply, I am referring to the power lines, i.e., those that do not originate from this planet. The bloodlines that you know of, while they are part of our extended family, are not born with the same extent of spiritual esoteric power that we are. And in this response, I am referring to our true and pure family. We are not born with the same veil of forgetfulness as you are. The veil is still in place, but would be most accurately described as being somewhat thinner. We see the invisible connections of life, which are hidden from you, because we retain access to more than just the third density perspective. Not dissimilar to the manner in which some people can see what you call auras. This is because you are working your way up, whereas we have chosen to step down in order to help you. We could not do this as successfully if we had to forget all that we have learned. In other words, to you, everything appears as being separate. We see that this is not the case. We do not have direct soul memory, as in the matter that you remember what you did yesterday, but we may access any portion of our soul memory we so choose when we focus upon it, often in a meditative state. Personally, my experiences are different again in other ways due to my specialty in the spiritual disciplines. But I will go into that in more detail later in response to another question. Yes, information is indeed passed down, though unlike yourself, any one of us may, with some effort, check the validity of that information from our personal and group soul memory. Basically, where you see yourselves as separate human beings, we see and know that we are one. ATS. I have always been very confused and not clear on the subject of God. Having been tossed around from religion to religion, from my parents, it is hard to discern which God to believe or have faith in. Should I keep on having faith in the fact that the world around me is God and that there is not one particular being that deserves this faith? HH. Religion is either actually created or, at very least, heavily influenced by us. There is no such thing as God. God is a human concept, which is a misunderstanding of the original concept of creator. This is further confused as there are many macrocosm level creators, or logos, as has been explained previously. God implies some separate entity, which is outside of you, which you must supplicate and worship. Our one infinite creator, and almost all of our logos and sublogos do not want your worship. They want you to understand creation and your place in it as a co-creator. Ultimately, there is a supreme being in the form of the one infinite creator, but we are all a part of it rather than its subjects. None of the names given to this supreme being by your religions are the true names, but they are indeed correct in that there is one supreme being, namely the infinite creator. They just have different concepts about it, which springs from the texts their religion is based upon. Do not worship your infinite creator, but rather live in a state of thanksgiving and service to it for bringing you into being and for this amazing game it has created, in which we may forget who we really are in order to remember and know ourselves once again as the creator. ATS. So basically, the form that we have is actually just a body with bones and skin, and so on and so forth. What matters is our soul or being that is inside us that makes us question and deal with our surroundings and life. So when we die, the pain and suffering is just part of our human shell and has nothing to do with our soul or being, which will carry on into the next life or density. HH. Indeed. Pain and suffering are just aspects of the game. They feel extremely real while you are playing the game. And indeed, they have to in order to make you believe that the game is real. No one really dies, but rather the matter of human form is shed, much like the chrysalis of a caterpillar when the butterfly emerges. Look upon physical incarnation as the chrysalis in which you may transform. ATS. My life has been a troubled one for a while now, having been so soaked and brainwashed into the human life form and way of life. But lately I feel as though I am starting to wake up and see things more clearly. Am I doomed because of the path I have taken for most of my life? Or can I still save my soul? HH. You are not doomed, and your soul does not require salvation. No one's soul does. There is nothing to save it from. It is good to hear that you are awakening, and that is another reason why I'm here at this time speaking with you. Our infinite Creator has many messengers, and He uses us all in our own unique ways to help with the awakening and prepare as many as possible for the coming great harvest. But as I say, you are not doomed, and there is nothing to save yourself from, except perhaps from ignorance. And I do not mean that in an insulting way, but rather ignorance as in a lack of understanding. At the very worst, you will have to repeat as many third density cycles as is necessary in order for you to learn the things you need to learn, in order to progress and graduate to fourth density positive. But one thing is for sure, you will get there in the end. All will find their way home to our infinite Creator. Rest also assured that you will not find yourself lost in your cycling. At the end of each physical incarnation, as we've previously stated, you will return to time-space, or that which has been described as heaven, where you shall once again know yourself as you truly are, a unique and beautiful soul, and a part of your Creator. You only forget who you are during incarnation. The object of the game is to wake up within the dream and, in effect, become a lucid gamer. To remember whom you really are during the game and to then begin working upon the things you came here for. Rereading this topic with discernment will provide you with plenty of clues on how you may choose to go about this. ATS. So, is the harvest an all or nothing event, or will it be a mixed harvest? A few moving to fourth density, a few moving towards fourth density in service to self, the great majority repeating third density. And if only 94% go to fourth density negative, then you have to repeat third density and try again for a 95% negative harvest? If so, then I would hate to imagine how much more negative your people would make the earth at that point. I'm still confused about your part in this. In order for you to move on to the fourth level, it must be a 95% negative harvest. In other words, you reward your people with fourth density. 95% of the human souls have to be in the self-contemplation process as far away from the infinite source as humanly possible. That just doesn't feel right to me. HH. It does not feel right to you as it is not right. You have not entirely grasped the concept. I shall attempt to clarify. The harvest is mixed. Those who are 51% or over on the positive path will graduate to fourth density positive. There you will work upon love and compassion, and it will be a very beautiful world to reside within for you. There will be very little negativity, just a small enough amount that you can still use it to exercise your free will in choosing who you are not. But it will be so much more obvious than it is here that the negativity is a tool to be used. You will see the interconnectedness of all things, and you will know that you are not separate from one another or from life itself. You will not use words much unless you choose to. Telepathy becomes the normal method of communication. Everything is open, and you cannot hide your thoughts from others. From that incarnation onwards, you will not have to experience third density incarnation again, unless you later choose to do so from higher densities, as we have done. In order to perfect the art of service, or unless you somehow, in a fourth density world of abundant love and beauty, inextricably manage to be 95% negative at a time of future harvest and slide back down the snake instead of ascending up the ladder, to use another game metaphor. Back to this current harvest. We do not require a 95% negative harvest, as you have deducted. Instead, what we require is for us to personally attain a 95% negative polarity for ourselves, not for you. We must be 95% negative, at least, in order to graduate to fourth density negative and earn the opportunity to clear our karmic record of all the negativity we have created on this planet before returning to our rightful place as sixth density guardians of our galaxy and teachers of wisdom to those in lower densities that ask for our assistance. If we do not make it, we will remain trapped in the third density cycle with all those between 94% negative and 50% positive, what I termed lukewarms, and have to continue to provide negative polarity for you. Harsh as it is, our only way out is to be as negative as possible to graduate. We cannot choose to be positive because that is not what we came here to do for you. That's why I often have referred to all of the horrible things we've done here as our sacrifice. ATS. You said that the lukewarm people at the time of harvest would not notice anything has happened, but they'd be on a different planet. Do you mean that they'd wake up with no memory of what has occurred, but still be in the same physical body? Or they'd wake up in a new physical body with no memory of any past life? HH. There will be a short experience of 0 point time where you feel utterly at one with your infinite creator. It will be a feeling of blissful, ecstatic expansiveness and unity, whilst your physical vehicles, bodies, are dissolved back into light and transported to your new environment. When that transition is complete, the 0 point time will end, and you will appear in your new game zone, planet. You will look the same, think the same, feel the same. In fact, it will be just like you all had some mystical experience, and life will carry on as normal for you. Same houses, family situations, jobs, friends, lovers. Everything will seem the same as before. You will not remember the great harvest or earth changes that occurred as the planet Earth heals and regenerates herself. But you will recall your mystical experience, and that will give you hope and a new opportunity to choose a more positive future for yourselves. There will still be the same negative polarity to overcome, but if we are successful in our negative graduation, which we shall be, others are standing by to take our places, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. We have more than done our job in discharging our service to you, and we're tired. It is time for us to clear our karmic record and return to being the beings of light, which is our true essence. ATS. What specifically can I do to receive guidance on how to reach the state where it is easier to discern truth from untruth? HH. Work upon yourself. Go inside in a state of meditative contemplation. Still your mind, that your soul may have room in which to make its still, small voice heard. Ask your infinite Creator to help you and listen to your inner voice. Be patient. It takes time to develop this inner communication. After a lifetime of neglect, when you persevere and keep working on yourself, gradually it will come to you. And when it does, you must learn to trust in your inner guidance, no matter what others may say. That is the ultimate test. To trust what you know deep inside as your truth, even when the whole world tells you that you are wrong. It is hard to work to trust yourself when all those around you doubt you and call you crazy. But it is the job you came here to do. The only real and lasting truth is a self-realized one. Messengers can come and go and show you truth until they're blue in the face. But it will not be your truth until you have realized for yourself deep within the core of your being that it feels true for you. You should never accept something as true just because someone tells you it is so. But when your inner voice guides you that a truth is true, and you feel that old warm feeling of excitement welling up from somewhere deep within that says, yes, I knew it. Hold on to that feeling. Feelings are the language of your soul, and guard it carefully, as you can be sure that your newfound beliefs will be challenged in many ways. It is designed this way to test you. Your inner truth must be able to withstand the test of time and will be given a thorough examination. Hold fast to it, so long as it is what you know to be true deep within. Allow nothing or no one outside of you to pull you from your path, no matter how fiercely they contend with you. They are just doing their job, even if they may not even be aware that this is what they are in fact doing. They are performing an important service to you, and you should be grateful to them for that. ATS. Are there any non-corrupted parts of the Bible? And what Bible version would you suggest? HH. No. As with all sacred texts, they have been distorted from the original information that was given with each translation. Though again, as with all sacred texts, there is still much truth hidden within them, much of it being metaphorical. If you can find the pre-King James version, that is the closest you will get. Good luck with that. ATS. My question is this. What can I do to attract more like-minded individuals to come together, to uplift my people's turning to the path of ascension? I've decided that this is what I can do to express my personal act of service to others. HH. And a very wise and compassionate decision it is. We're proud of you. The most important thing is not to force things and not to be so impassioned in your delivery of your message that you put people off the content of the message itself. There's a balance that needs to be found between your urgency to awaken others and your compassion for the lack of understanding in their condition. Always adhere to the law of free will and never force your message. In getting your message out there, while being informative, always do your best not to feed the fear and paranoia, as this will act contrary to your intentions of raising the vibration to positive. Deliver your message in a way that emphasizes the hope and the true beauty and reality of our inherent oneness with our infinite Creator. Be as a light, shining in the darkness. Do not burn others with your light, but rather allow them to be drawn to your light and be of service to those who come to you willingly. In other words, do not become evangelical with your message, but rather be the enigmatic and loving wise old sage to whom others are drawn to because of the quality of his vibration rather than the volume of his rhetoric. Most importantly, practice that which you preach. Others must be able to see the effect of our infinite Creator conducting his wonderful work through you. We wish you well in your task and are hopeful for a positive harvest for you. But above all things, keep working upon yourself. and keep choosing the positive and being of service to others because you desire to, not because you feel that you must. We ask our infinite Creator to bless you and guide your path. Infinite love. From millennium slavery to individual sovereignty. In the Orient, in the 20th century, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother discovered and anchored truth consciousness, the supramental consciousness in the earthly atmosphere. Once well anchored, the new consciousness was ready to move on to the next stage, its popularization and propagation. In the West, in the 21st century emerged personal creatia, the power of the sovereign person to govern oneself. Sri Aurobindo's integral yoga goes beyond individual liberation and undertakes collective transformation on earth. After the death of Sri Aurobindo, the Mother continued their work, and on February 29, 1956, the supramental consciousness was definitely anchored on earth. One single and sincere look at the present world situation is enough to convince anybody that it has reached a point of no return. Humanity is heading towards a monumental dead end. Let's stop repeating our obsolete ways, which can only bring more suffering. Personal creatia continues the diffusion of truth consciousness in the West. Substantial unity replaces the guru-disciple separation. Let us all spread the contagion of love. I'm out of the game. Like Truman in The Truman Show, I have taken my bow and left a world of illusion, this computer simulation to which I have given authority to manage my life. I leave the theater where I have played time and time again the roles of disciple, daughter, parent, dentist, entrepreneur, citizen. Today, I devote myself fully and without limits to spreading individual sovereignty, the truth consciousness that I have been experiencing since 2002. Infinite love.